Hey, what's going on, guys? I figured today I would make a video about my experience with Kobalt's warranty at Lowe's. I actually exchanged this wrench for a broken one yesterday, and so I figured while it was fresh on my mind, it would be a good time to talk about the experience. So I'm going to record in my truck today because it's pretty windy and cold outside. So hopefully that works out all right. So to start off, I guess I should tell you that I didn't have high hopes for getting my broken ratcheting wrench replaced yesterday. And the reason for that is because about 10 or 11 years ago, when I was just old enough to move out of my parents' house, I went to Lowe's because it was close to where I worked, and I bought just some starter tools. I really didn't know a lot about tools, but I knew that I needed a few for my house. I didn't really have any possessions whatsoever besides a bed. I had a bed and one chair and my clothes, and my vehicle. So I decided I needed to buy some tools to get me started, and I went to Lowe's and I bought a 3/8 drive socket set that I'm still using, and I bought a set of Kobalt screwdrivers and a hammer, tape measure, and some other stuff like that, and some Kobalt brand channel locks. So anyway, I got that stuff home, and it wasn't very long after that I needed to use the screwdrivers. So I opened them up, and I was using one, and one of the flatheads, the tip broke, and I wasn't prying with it. I was turning the screw. It was a brand new screwdriver. So I took it back to Lowe's. I saw a lifetime warranty on the packaging. I thought this will be no problem. And I even had the receipt still, so I brought it with me just in case. You're not supposed to need that, but I brought it. So I got there, and I came up with a screwdriver. I said, hey, I only bought it a couple weeks ago or a couple days ago, whatever the case was. And it broke under normal use, so could I exchange it for warranty? And they said, so they asked me for the receipt, which I knew I didn't need. I just didn't say anything, and I handed it over anyway. And they said, well, so did this come from a set? I said, yeah, it did. And they said, well, you're going to need to bring the whole set back in order for us to honor the warranty. Even though they had the very same individual screwdriver on the shelf, which I pointed out, and they said, no, you still, you can't do that. So, to me, that kind of told me that they were just looking for a reason to deny it. So, but eventually I came back with the whole set, and I changed out the whole set. I gave them every screwdriver in the set, and I got another set just like it, which I thought was pretty wasteful, but by that point I was kind of determined. And since then, like I said, 10 or 11 years, I haven't really bought any Kobalt tools besides just used ones that I get when I buy, go to the pawn shop or a yard sale or whatever, eBay, and buy a lot of tools, and it'll, then I just take whatever I can get. I feel like they're decent tools, but it just irritated me with the warranty, and I thought I might as well just buy Harbor Freight or whatever, or like Crescent. Their warranty on their wrenches and stuff is amazing. Craftsman, you just send them a picture and they'll send you a new one that's equivalent or the same. So fast forward to yesterday, I had a 9/16 Kobalt ratcheting wrench that has been riding around in my work truck for a while. It was different from this. It said made in Taiwan on it, and the little lever to reverse it slid back and forth, and that was seized up, and also the part that ratchets was seized up too. So it was in my work truck, and I was going right by Lowe's, and just on a whim, I thought, maybe I'll take this old wrench in here and see if they can do anything for me. I thought probably not, but I like to go in there and look at the stuff anyway. So I went in there, and the lady, I said, hey, can I warranty a Kobalt tool here? today. And she said, have you got it with you? I said, yeah. So I pulled it out, and she says, okay, go find the same one or close to the same one and bring it back up here, and I'll swap it out. So already I thought, okay, this is off to a lot better start than last time. So I went over there to the tools, and I'm looking at the tools, and I'm not finding it. So another lady comes up to me, and she says, can I help you find something? I said, yeah. What I'm doing, I'm trying to exchange this 9/16 ratcheting wrench under warranty, but I can't seem to find the individual wrenches. And she said, yeah, we don't carry them anymore. We just have them in sets. And I said, okay. So, at that point, I'm thinking, I'm not getting anything today. So I said, is there a number maybe for the warranty I can call and talk to them and see if they can send me one or something? She said, yeah, but before you do that, grab a set and take it up there and say, hey, could you she used the term damage this out. I guess it's a retail term. And give me just replace the one and damage out the rest. I'm guessing that means put it on clearance, like as a partial pack or something, because I did see some things like that. So I took it up there, and she did tell me, she said they may not do it, but they sometimes do, and it's worth asking. So I went up there, and that's what I said, hey, this other lady told me to say this, and I understand if you can't do it, but could you just give me the one? And she said, well, let me check with my manager. She called the manager, and the manager shockingly to me said, yeah, absolutely, go ahead. So she asked me if I would cut the package open with my pocket knife and take out the one that I needed. And so here it is. This is the one that they gave me. So I took it out of the pack. I said, here it is, 9/16. She never even asked me what was wrong with the other tool. She never really even looked at it. I mean, she just took it at face value. She didn't ask for any receipt. She didn't ask if it was in a package, if I was the original purchaser, all this stuff. Because on these packages of the Kobalt tools now, it says hassle-free warranty, hassle-free guarantee, something like that, no questions asked. And they, apparently at this location that I went to, they actually do honor that. They actually mean that. So I was really amazed at that. And like I almost hate to say this, but in this particular instance, on this day, the warranty service was as good as Harbor Freight. I mean, I know that's a crazy thing to say, but in this specific instance with this employee, it was absolutely painless, no questions asked. And so this wrench they gave me, like I said, the other one, I'll try to figure out how to put a picture of it on the screen if I can. It was a little rusty, nothing that should make it fail, but it was a little rusty. It was obviously very well used. But, in my mind, I was turning it over and thinking of every way they could possibly scrutinize it and say they weren't going to honor it because of my past experience. But they redeemed themselves yesterday. So I'll just show you the wrench real quick. And it's pretty cool looking. It's got style points for sure. And now it does. The other one was made in Taiwan, and it was more of a matte finish, and it was a really nice wrench. I loved it. This one, it doesn't say where it was made on here, and I didn't look in the package, but it just screams to me made in China. It just has that made in China look to it, like the new Craftsman, some of the new Craftsman stuff. But I mean, I'm definitely not complaining, because I went from a broken, useless, or mostly useless ratcheting wrench to a brand new one that works great. And so, that's just one person's experience. I figured I'd share it. I know it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of complaining, and a lot of videos, I guess it gets traction when people have something that makes their fan base, not that I have a fan base, but that makes the viewers angry. That gets views, that gets comments. So, it's possible that a lot of good experiences either don't get mentioned, or they get they get downplayed or whatever. But you know, I just wanted to give my thanks to Lowe's and Kobalt, and I wanted to say they did right by me in this situation. So anyway, thanks for watching.